find out what's in Cox's box.
Look, this is going to become a regular thing on our shows. Cox's box. This week I want to pay tribute to Rod Liddle, and I don't want to pay tribute to him for all the reasons that you may think. Rod Liddle was a great sketch writer, a great commentator, spent the vast majority of his political life as a Labour Party member, and was actually ousted from the Labour Party when he criticised the Labour Party for being anti-Semitic, which he was proven to be true, particularly in the Corbyn years. For me, and I touched on this with Simon because I wanted to understand his view, it was about the reaction to Rod Liddle's death from what I shall just refer to as the left. Too wide a term, I agree, but it seems to be segments of the left, but an ever-growing segment of the left. Obviously, Simon mentioned it, and I shall mention it again. Anne Widdecombe's demise just a matter of weeks ago, a horrific murder, which we won't talk about now for obvious reasons. That was met with some glee. And then this week, Rod Liddle's death again met with tremendous glee. Go and check out my comments. Go and check out on X Paul Cox Comedy, or Facebook Paul Cox Comedy, or even my Instagram, the same again. And look at the overwhelming number of comments that are negative towards Rod Liddle, because they did one thing with Rod. They took absolutely everything he said verbatim seriously. And I would say the difference between the left is obviously the old adage being true, that the right think the left are wrong and the left think the right are evil. And that is very true in those comments. They seem to believe that every single time someone with a conservative view of the world must be punished for that, and not just punished for that on the minute, the second their death is announced. That for me is why our society and the fabric which pulls it together is ripping and tearing and falling apart. We need Rod Liddles, we need Anne Widdecombe's, and you don't have to agree with them. You don't have to be the one that decides if what they say is right or wrong. So in Cox's box this week, what I would like everybody to think about is how irreverent Rod Liddle was, how curmudgeonly he was, but how brilliantly funny he was, irrespective of whether you agreed with what he said or not. And to agree, at least, that we need dissenting voices. It doesn't matter what side of politics you're on, we need dissenting voices. And without them, we get Samantha Niblett and we get Stella Creasy, and we don't want that.